What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I'm Calvin Douglas, as you know from last time. And if you don't know from last time, I am Calvin Douglas. CD's wrestling videos, CDWV. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody who celebrates. And let's get it. We got a pretty decent episode of Raw, man. So we start with the GOAT. That's the greatest of all time. That's John Felix Anthony Cena. His music hits, the place blows up. Fans start singing, John Cena sucks. You get the let's go Cena, Cena sucks chants. He goes into the ring, and this continues for what has to have been another 3-4 minutes. He was doing the thing where, I don't know if you remember when Chris Jericho returned, he would just troll the fans and not say anything. He'd go to the ring, pick the mic up and leave. I was a bit concerned that's what John Cena was gonna do. So I was very relieved when he actually did say something and start talking. When he started talking, boy, let me tell you, this man said he was in an abusive relationship with the crowd for 25 years. He started making fun of little kids, basically said no matter what he did, it was never good enough. He first debuted, we didn't like him, and then he turned into DJ Khaled and started to win. All he did was win and win and win and win, and that still wasn't enough. So he started doing the Make-A-Wishes, and no matter what he did, in our eyes, all we wanted was more. So this is the reason for his turn. Although he did say he's not a heel, he's not a baby face, he's a human being. That was a bar. I kind of did like that. And then he started I felt like he was attacking like me personally, like Calvin Douglas. Like he was like, yo, you don't really support me. What have you done for me? I was like, bro, ain't this you? Is this not you? It wasn't free, you know. It was not free. Hours I had to put in at work. Ain't this you? What do you mean? The nerve. Bianca's fine self. Ain't this you, John? What are you talking about, bro? Ain't this your album? Ain't this you, John? On the back, chilling? Hey. So for him to say we haven't been supporting him, that's crazy. I remember when me and my boys used to go watch pay-per-views in Cineplex. Everybody was cheering for Randy Orton. And anytime you heard those trumpets and John Cena was going to the ring, I was the only man standing in that theater doing the salute with my thumbs up. So that was kind of crazy. Anyway, he goes on for quite a bit of time. Cody Rhodes' music hits. And he popped the crowd like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. You should have seen the standing ovation, man. They were singing his song word for word. They did the whole whoa. It was phenomenal. Cody's talking, and Cena goes to interrupt, and he says, hey, son. Cody Rhodes basically cuts him off and says, no, it's not son. It's WWE Universal Champion. And then he asks who the hell Cena is. And that part kind of hit with me, because I know everybody's talking about aura. But aura's a real thing, you know. Like when Cena was in that ring cutting that promo, running the fans down, I was like, that's not John Cena. That is a white man in a t-shirt and a ball cap. That is not John Cena. So when Cody Rhodes said that, it hit different. He said, yo, you better go find John Cena, because this guy right here in the ring with me, that's not it. That's not it. I'm going to beat this guy at WrestleMania. I'm going to destroy this guy at WrestleMania. I already took his best shot, and it wasn't enough. I'm still here, you know? So you better find Cena, because that's who I want to fight, and not this whiny little bitch in front of me. He basically mic dropped and left. That was insane. I've never seen Cena, not on the ropes, but I'm just so used to Cena getting the better on everybody all the time. Like, this was the first kind of time like I've seen somebody say something and then just kind of had him there. I don't know if this is a new heel thing. I don't know if he legit just didn't have anything to say, which I doubt, because Cena's the greatest of all time on the mic. I will debate that with anybody, any day. After that, we got Michael Cole at the announcement desk, and he basically said Michael Cole Shout out to Michael Cole, man. I don't think he gets enough credit. I think we really have to start putting him in the GOAT debates of wrestling announcers, because we all love good old JR, but Michael Cole has been through it, and the improvement since Vince McMahon left, I'm just glad to see he's having fun. But basically, he was passionate and said all of Cena's success is because of the fans. He called him a prick. Shout out to Michael Cole. After that, we got Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta. I'm sure the match was perfectly fine. Like, I watched it. Nothing really stood out. Crowd was hot the whole time, as you would expect from the European Tour fans. Penta wins with the Penta driver. And then we get a post-match interview with Kathy Kelly. As she asks Penta what's next, Penta basically says, yo, I want that Intercontinental Championship. After that, we get Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. I'm not really an American-made fan. I don't know what it is. I don't know, the whole you suck thing. I feel like they're going too hard with trying to, like, not be the next Kurt Angle, because I realize not every amateur wrestler is trying to be Kurt Angle, I understand, but it's just not for me. Something's just missing right now. So I'm glad Dakota Kai won. She hit her with the GTK for the win. And good for Dakota Kai. I honestly wanted her to be the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion, but it's all good. I got Chelsea Green as the first ever United States champion, so I ain't too mad. Next up, we got Io Sky and Bianca Belair on a contract signing. Basically, man, let me tell you real quick. When Bianca Belair took that jacket off, I had to quietly ask God for forgiveness for my thoughts. That was the first thing. Io Sky basically says she won't be disrespected again because she's a champ. And I noticed, like, Bianca and Rhea have kind of been punking her off, like doing the whole face smush. That's a fight. That's a fight where I come from, man. You got to watch that face smush stuff. Io says she's going to be the champ after WrestleMania. Bianca says she'll be the new champ, and the fans actually booed her. Where is this coming from? I feel like, when did this happen? Like, when did the fans start turning on Bianca Belair? You guys let me know if you know, because that's my girl, and I don't really, holy smokes, I don't see a reason for people to be hating on her like that. I don't know, man. And we got a new challenger appearing like it's Smash Brothers, and it's Rhea Ripley. She enters the ring. She basically pushes Bianca onto the table, and then she powerbombs Io Sky onto Bianca on the table, but the table didn't break. So shout out to the table. Home Depot, you're doing your thing. Rhea picks up the contract, and then she signs it. This was a contract between Io Sky and Bianca Belair for the women's championship at WrestleMania. So I don't understand. I guess that's just wrestling logic, where if you see a contract and you put your name on it, I guess it's up. That's it. I guess that's it. Can you imagine that worked like that in real life? Like, you just found, like, Bronny James and you just pushed him over and signed his contract. Now you get $4 million or whatever the hell he's getting. Shout out to Bronny James. Next, we got a quick Jey Uso promo. He's basically just hyping himself up. I like Jey Uso. I like Jey Uso. I think it's time that, you know what? I also like Gunther, but I feel like the stat was what? Like, he's been champion for 80% of his time on the WWE roster. So I think it's definitely Jey Uso's time to hold this championship. They have a little scuffle backstage. Oh, I noticed this during the Netflix live stream. Jay was yeeting and doing his thing. And I guess when you watch it on Netflix, it shows you how much time you have left for that commercial break to end. Whereas if you watch it somewhere else, you just see a commercial. And it was kind of funny because Jay jumped off of the table. I guess he thought he was done. And a producer comes walking around. He's like, nah, you better get your ass back up on that table and yeet, because we still got time left. This guy was exhausted by the time the match started. And we got Jay versus Theory. The weirdest thing happened because the bell rang and I actually got a little bit thirsty. And so I remembered I had some iced tea in a paper cup from yesterday, just chilling in the fridge. And so you know what the paper cups, when the liquid, it tends to seep through the bottom. So I was like, oh, that's not good. So by the time I took I transferred the iced tea from the paper cup to a plastic cup, the bell rang. I was like, hold on, what happened here? I rewatched it, and he went for like a. It looked like a crossbody, but I guess they counted it as a spear. There's just some miscommunication there. It's bound to happen. Post match, we got Jay super kicking Waller outside of the ring. So he kind of lands into Theory. So it's Austin Theory and Waller outside of the ring. And Jay did his best Top Dollar impersonation jumping over that top rope, man. That was sloppy. Like, I feel like I could have did better than that. Again, these are professionals. Things are bound to happen. It was funny. It's Jey Uso. Even he laughed it off. He got back in the ring and kind of just did his thing there. We got one more backstage promo with Ia, Bianca, and Rhea. Their backstage brawl spilled into the backstage arena. This time, Rhea standing tall. I kind of wonder why Rhea dropped the belt if she was just gonna get inserted into this match. Because you know for sure we're gonna have a triple threat match now. Okay, next up we have the Creed brothers versus the LWO. Nothing too crazy. One thing I did like, Dragon Lee hit this sick over the top rope Hurricane Rana. I don't even remember the name of American Made. It was a dope move. He ran from inside of the ring and he jumped outside of the ring while hitting the Hurricane Rana. It was fucking sick. It was dope. Ray and Dragon pick up the win after the 619. After that, we get a Rollins and Punk steel cage recap. After the recap, we saw Rollins enter the ring to the fans singing his song. Again, they don't miss a beat. These guys are super energetic. As Seth Rollins was at the barricade, like he was ringside, there was this one dude who looked like he would have sold his soul to get a selfie with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was walking pretty close to him, and he was literally like this. Seth, hey Seth. And then he looked back and Seth Rollins like walked past him. I find it funny because it's happened to me, not necessarily ringside, but I've been in that situation. They continue to sing his song for at least 3 minutes. It was phenomenal. I like when things are in unison like that. You get a whole bunch of passionate people together and the mission's the same. Super dope. Seth says he's going to be at SmackDown with Roman and Punk. And I don't know how I feel about that. Not the fact of him being on SmackDown next week with Roman and Punk, just the fact that you pay your money to go to a wrestling show and one wrestler you like is like, hey, you know those other two guys that you like? And then you cheer. And then the wrestler in the ring is like, well, next week to the show that you didn't buy a ticket for, I'm going to go there with them. It kind of just seems blue ball-ish. I feel like there's something that you can do instead of teasing the fans like that. If you're watching at home, it makes no difference. You'll just tune in the same way. But can you imagine? You pay to see a show and you're just being teased the whole time. Then again, some people like that. Hey. Again, we get Kathy Kelly backstage and she's with AJ Styles. AJ Styles basically says, oh, I have pale here. What the hell is that? AJ says that Logan Paul doesn't belong on the roster. And then he's immediately interrupted by Karrion Kross and Scarlett. They basically just think that AJ Styles is jealous of Pale, or Logan Paul, because of the time that he succeeded in the WWE. Meanwhile, AJ Styles took like 15 years, I think, to get there. It's like heel 101. I don't think anything will come out of it. I don't know what they're doing with Karrion Kross. I honestly have no clue. We got Braun Breaker heading to the ring. There's a quick stare down with Penta as Penta's backstage. And we know earlier that Penta wants that Intercontinental Championship. So here we go. Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. Finn makes his entrance and basically reads off his resume. I've won this title, that championship, this and that. Now, I don't remember if this was broadcasted or if this was just on the Netflix, like, because I watched it on Netflix. So you guys could have just seen a commercial, but it's nothing crazy that happened. I don't even know why I wrote this down, to be honest. Basically, after a pretty even match, Carlito and Dom run to the ring. Cause of distraction, interference, again, heel 101. Breaker dives from the apron to hit a clothesline on Finn, and they both basically fly over the announce table. And Michael Cole, deadass, just says, I think Finn's dead. Oh, man. There's a spot where there's a suplex about to be performed. It is Dom drags Breakker off the ropes, causing Finn to slip. Obviously, that wasn't the intention. He was just trying to drag Breakker off as Carlito caused the distraction. Braun falls, Finn falls, Braun hits the spear to retain. 1, 2, 3, and still your Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breakker. After the match, we get a post-match beatdown from Carlito and Dom to Breakker until Breakker is saved by Penta. Penta basically runs them out of the ring. He grabs the Intercontinental Championship, hands it to Braun, and the show is over. It was an okay show. That Cena stuff carried, as he often does, but apparently I don't do nothing for him, so who knows? The show was dope. I enjoyed it. I look forward to reviewing next week's SmackDown. That's going to be dope. Roman Reigns, Punk, and Seth Rollins in the ring, in the arena at the same time. That's going to be dope. Tomorrow, NXT, as we all know, I'm going to get a review for that out as soon as possible. Raw just finished a couple hours ago. I'm going to hit the showers, grab something to eat, and just rest up a bit. So I appreciate you guys for rocking out with me. I'll see you on the next one, man.